So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast with Luke from Teenage Halloween. We're going to ask him some questions today. I'm going to start. So what inspired the creation of the band, and what does the band name mean?
All right. So the band was created in 2014 when I was a sophomore in high school. It was a much less serious thing for a long time, and it was kind of like it was kind of like we were just like kids rocking at like random shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, we got a lot more serious and started recording music. And it was at first a solo project, and then it grew into different iterations over time based on like touring schedules and stuff. The band is named after a lyric from Jeff Rosenstock's song Twinkle. So it's like I thought those two words, like when I was like a sophomore, I thought like Teenage Halloween, like the two words just in like a random song lyric just sounded cool as a band name. So I was like, all right, let's name the band that.
I like
Yeah,
that.
it does. I really like the band name.
Thank you.
Glory,
Yeah.
if I could cut you off there, Glory.
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually have a different question that I forgot to write down. You guys played the DriveIn Show at the clubhouse. How did that come about, and like what was that experience like?
It was cool. It was definitely random as fuck. Like we were very excited when we got asked because that was like a very like weird thing, and we did it, and it really did feel like a real show. Honestly, the only trippy thing about it was the fact that instead of like claps, it was honks.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the main thing that like got me like thinking that like we are literally in an apocalypse, is the fact that I was like playing my guitar, and then after the song you hear and like shit. And it's like usually I would get called like a homophobic slur getting honked at. So it's like, oh, it's nice. This is like claps. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a couple. I didn't get to go to yours, but it was definitely an interesting experience.
They yeah, they did it well. I don't know. It was like a cool, like it was like a very like random thing, and I guess like anything you got to do to be a full band right now is like cool, but it definitely was like the boss battle mode of a live stream.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So congrats on your newest album, your self-titled. How you felt the response to it so far?
It has been overwhelmingly nice. Like I'm actually like very not used to this level of like gratification. So I'm just like kind of like a little overwhelmed by it. It's felt very it's definitely the least hate I've ever gotten. So I'm just like, this is fucking sick. Like I felt great about the fact that it's like because most records have like a lot more, like at least for me, like most things I put out have had a lot more like mixed reviews, because that's just like what being an artist with like a public platform and having public music is like you kind of just get like, you'll have the occasional like fuck this record and shit like that, and like this actually luckily has been a very very like well received one, and I'm hoping it stays like that. Even if it doesn't, that's cool. I just feel very good right now because I think that it's been overall like very, like there's been a lot of love coming in, and it's been very cool.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
good
I'm
to
so
hear.
happy to hear that.
The
Thank
record
you.
smacks, so it's all deserved.
Yeah. I actually like weird enough, I'm just like kind of like owning that it's deserved, because it has been 6 years of like us really really busting, and like we're just like feeling very we're feeling very good about the fact that we finally made a record and put something out that felt like it encompassed what we were trying to do.
Yeah. All right. So what made you guys go with like naming it a self-titled for that first LP?
I would say, for lack of a better name,
Okay.
like it was kind of like the way that I tell people that ask us that is like we kind of just like we were like all chilling and coming up with names, and every time we came up with something, it would just be like no, like at least someone would say no. So it was like all right, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna just name it after the band, because that probably, if it's like our first thing and we haven't done anything in 3 years, we felt like if we just named it our band name, it's kind of like all encompassing into what we've become.
Mm-hmm.
So makes the most sense. The next thing we make is definitely going to have its own name.
Okay. It's not going to be like Teenage Halloween 2.
Yeah, no, because it would be, like, I don't know, sequels, you know?
Sequels. Maybe down the road.
Maybe do a prequel. Solid. So, what is your writing process like?
I would say my writing process is very, like, I usually write the lyrics first, and then I'll like write the chords after it, because I'm not like I can't like shred and come up with riffs. So like the way that I go about it is I write the song in my head first, and then I like try and transcribe it to like chords and stuff. So it's like it usually doesn't start with guitar. It starts with like just words and a melody, because I feel like I'm a lot more of a songwriter, so that that definitely is like the thing I focus on the most, like the actual like lyrical content, and like trying to focus on a subject that I want to tackle. And the way the band writes the songs is I bring the stem of the song where it's just me to the band, and then the band writes like all of like the extra melodies and like the dynamics and stuff. And it kind of like, it just starts as like usually like an acoustic punk song, and then they turn it more into like a rock song.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so collaborative. I like that.
It is. Yeah. I'm luckily able to like pick what ground we're covering on topic wise, but then once I bring it to the band, it definitely is more of a definitely becomes more musical.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about your headspace while you were writing this album?
It was bad. Yeah, it was horrible. I was doing really badly. I mean, I'm now doing great, but like and that means that there's probably not going to be a record until I'm not doing well again. Like during the writing of this record, I was in like a really dark place, and I feel like the lyrical content came from a place of like wanting to be and feel better. So that definitely was like the whole goal of the lyrics was to make like a release that felt hopeful for people that are in the moment dealing with something bad. And like I'm definitely like doing great now, but that record was definitely like, if someone's in the same boat as I was writing that, like I feel you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what band or artist influence do you think you can hear on this album?
I would say, so everyone's compared us to the Get Up Kids. Mm-hmm. I never really listened to the Get Up Kids till recently, and I really love them. So I feel like that's kind of like what you can get kind of like the gist. I like when I was listening, the music I was listening to when I wrote this record was like, I would say like Built to Spill, and do y'all know Granddaddy? It's like a early 2000s band.
No.
I was listening to them a lot. They're cool. I was listening to Elliott Smith. I really like Queen, so I was like trying to. I wanted to do like the theatrical pop thing that Queen did a little bit, but like more basic. And I was very into like that kind of stuff, like just like very melodic music that has like big guitars.
Oh,
yeah,
very cool. So how did you guys go about picking the tracklist order for this album?
Tracklist order. I think we, that was actually the easiest thing. Like, where we actually like, kind of were like, what sets the tone to this thing? Like, because all the songs are kind of like, it feels like a lot of the songs have like different tempos and like ways of progressing. So we kind of like wanted to make it like a thing that goes up into like a climactic thing and then like a slow burn. Like we wanted to make it kind of like that, where it's like all rising up, and then like the middle of the record's all crazy, mm-hmm. and then like the end of the record is more mellow and honed in. So that's kind of how it felt, like kind of like a triangle with the songs.
I think you guys did a good job at that.
Yeah, that's so
thanks.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I want this question to be like as quick as you can go. I want
Okay.
you to describe this album in 3 words off the top of your head.
I would say nihilistic, compassionate. Like it's like they're opposites, but it's kind of like the middle ground between the two. And and also I would say thoughtful, because it's like kind of like I really, with this record, I really wanted to like kind of like think about like maybe like not getting like being personal but not overly personal, just so it's to a point where like listeners can feel the same struggles I do without like a hyper personal subject matter.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Those are some
To a
big
T.
fucking words.
Yeah, oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, you gotta fake it till you make it with being smart. I'm just kidding.
So, is there a certain feeling that you want your listeners to have while listening through this record?
I want just like a feeling of like, I would just say hope, like I did earlier. I feel like like when you listen to this record, I want like the listener to feel like they can like make a record too, like something like that, or like just kind of like even like, because it took us 6 years to even like release a full-length album, so I feel like the most important thing that I want the listener to get is the fact that like this shit takes time, and if you want to do something like that like is like personal art, like you don't need to put like a time limit on it. And I feel like you should just like keep going, keep trying to progress in what you do, and don't like force yourself to do something you don't want to do.
Yeah. So you keep on mentioning that this was like 6 years in the making. Was it
Yes.
like, have you been writing it for 6 years, or was it just I want to put out a full length since the band came?
Yeah, we were really lazy back then, so we were like not really focusing on that. But it's about 3 years in the making for this record. Been writing these songs for a long time. Like people were in and out of the band for a minute, so the songwriting process was like a little jumbled. I would say that the next thing we're gonna do is probably gonna only take a year. But like this was definitely 3, because that we were just finding ourselves like getting definitely like growing, because like we started when we were super young, so it's like definitely like a point of like going into like a more mature way of writing songs. And now it feels a lot more like official and fluid, so I think that this took long just because of like getting our shit together.
Okay. All right.
Solid. All right. So, when shows do come back, what 3 songs from this album are you looking forward to playing live?
That's a good one. I didn't get asked that yet. I think like I really like playing that SMH City that's on our record, because that's like I really liked having a anti-military song, because that felt very important to like with the current time period to like put out. And like it's weird because it's like, I don't know, it feels more real now than it did when I wrote it. And the that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to play Turn Right Goes Straight, because we never did that one ever. So we like ever live. So that was the only song on the record that we didn't get to play live at all before like quarantine. So I'm excited to play that one. It's not my favorite song on the record, but like new things to do live is always like super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say that I really like playing Holes, because that's like more of like a like it's like a challenge of my endurance, because it's like really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like being able to like sing super fast and like just challenging the voice and stuff. So I'm excited to do that too.
All right. Good picks. So I know you guys just put this record out and are still like basking in all the positive reviews, but is there anything
So
new
weird.
on the horizon here?
Oh, like what's next?
Yeah.
We started writing our second record.
Okay.
We're like 4 songs in. We are possibly going to go back into the studio in a couple months to do a smaller scale release, but we're still figuring that out, but we're definitely trying to stay like active in quarantine, and like we're doing some live sessions that are like live streams and stuff, but they're like full band ones that are like mixed, and then we're doing couple like smaller things like yeah, no, we're trying to stay like as active as we were when there were shows right now, and like gauging how to do that safely is like its own world.
Yeah.
All right. So, where do you see the band in the next 5 years?
5 years. If we don't kill each other, I feel like we'll be definitely still like on the road doing our thing. I mean, I think that we're gonna be always like a thing, probably like in like a smaller or larger scale, because that we're all like such close friends. But we're definitely like in 5 years we'll probably have like 2 more records.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Are those full length or like EPs?
Probably full length, because we're really writing a whole lot of songs right now, so it's been very good in that way.
Ooh,
that's exciting. So for the last couple of questions, we're actually going to shift away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh, this is great. This is my kind of question. Wait, so my last meal and my last drink.
Mm-hmm.
My best friend's in the room too. Like, I need to consult.
Pandora.
Oh yeah, today. Like we had like Indian food today, and I feel like that would probably be my last meal, cuz that like naan with like tikka masala would be insane. And also I really like my last drink would probably be just like the Arizona green tea, because I realized that if you just put that in the fridge, it's like the best drink on earth.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, for real. It's like it's super sweet, but it's not overwhelming, and you still get like the herb kind of flavor, and it's $1, so it's like the best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Fictional world.
Gotta consult the friend on this one too.
You say, yeah, they say Candyland, but I would say that I would live in Narnia, because it's like cold, and I really like cold places, and that's the first cold place I can think of. So I would love that. I mean, I don't know. One day I'll be just living in a house in the woods with snow. So.
Yeah. All right.
Wonderful.
So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we have spoken to has said it's the most important question.
Yes.
What is your favorite color?
That's crazy. My favorite color. I would say, I think red, just because like that's like definite, like all of my. All right, hold on. I'll show and tell.
Show and tell.
So
Show and tell.
all of my this is. Hold on. All of my guitars are red.
Wow.
So, hold on.
They're gonna come over with like 4 guitars in their hand.
So yeah, my favorite color is red. All of my guitars are red.
Okay. Ooh. Those are some nice guitars too.
Those are very nice.
My phone is red.
Oh my god.
I bought my sibling a red guitar. Like, it's just kind of like, definitely my go-to color for like most things. Like, it just like seems like, it's just like, I don't know, because it's like dark and light at the same time. So you're like, you can be like indecisive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, that's the questions we have today. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Not really, besides the fact that like, please listen to our record. Like, it's out and we're proud of it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on. This has been Luke from Teenage Halloween, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for having me.